Hi, my name is Sal Correo. I play drums.
My name is Kian Lieskos. I play bass.
My name is Lee Patterson. I play guitar.
My name is Sean McAfee. I play guitar and sing.
And we are
Who Saved Who?
Oh, I knew this was coming.
I
Sean loves this
I
question.
need a better story for this one. I went to school at Kent, and I was at a teacher's. She was screening her own film, and it was this movie about a veteran who meets a grieving mother, and they have this tumultuous relationship. And she just was like giving a Q&A about the movie, and then she just said, it's like a Who Saved Who type situation. And she said that, and I was like, that's the band name right there. So there's a specific moment where I heard this name and was like, yeah, that's it.
I think there's a lot of at this point, like, what does that name mean to us at this point with it too? And I think that's what's cool about it, because like we all kind of found each other, the time in our lives where we weren't sure what's going on, and like this has given us a lot of purpose. So basically, Sean and I used to jam about 5 or 6 years ago with some other friends that we went to high school with for a different project. And then after we graduated college, Sean wanted to start jamming again, so we basically started playing every Sunday evening in my parents' basement back where I grew up in Avon, just for hours. And like any rock band, we sucked. And then we went and started recording, and once the pandemic looked like it was going to ease a little bit, things were going to open, we were like, we should get a band together and play shows. Sean, how did you find Luke?
Luke was friends with my cousin, so he'd always be over at the family functions, and I always knew you were a musically gifted person, and you would post on Instagram videos you'd be playing guitar, and I was like, hey, you should come jam with me and Sal.
Yeah, that was fun. During the pandemic, I was posting more videos on Instagram of me playing, and then Sean reached out to me because you guys just got the rehearsal space.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's funny is that when you asked me to come jam, and like I thought we would just be like playing, just like whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
But then you started teaching me songs, and I was like, all right, I guess we're playing some original music. And then like after a couple of times of playing together, it's, hey, so you want to like be in this band? And I was like, all right.
Kian's actually our second bassist, our original bassist that kind of helped us get off the ground. John was Sean and I's roommate. And then when he needed time for his main project, I put an ad out on a Facebook page called Cleveland Bass Players. Kian was the only person under the age of 40 to respond. And I was like, can you show me you playing? And he sent us a few videos, and then we met for coffee. He came and saw us play when we played Beachland Ballroom last July, and he's been with us since. And honestly, he's been kind of the missing link to this whole thing, and that's how we kind of came together. And at this point, it's just all vision and all that.
Yeah, I had just graduated high school, and I was moving out here from Amherst for college, and I saw their ad for, we're looking for a bass player, and the YouTube link to moving out of state, and I was like, these guys are badass, and so I wanted to be a part of that.
That's a first.
And then I was like, yeah, I just want to be a part of this.
I think we also wanted Kian because it's nice to have someone who is at a different generation of us. So you have knowledge of what's going on with your peers, and we're a little older than you, so maybe we're not as in touch with the current youth as you are. So it's nice to have that.
But it's also funny too, because until it comes to like you were saying the one time, random references to certain things, you don't even notice that there's an 8-year age gap between the three of us, and you would never guess.
Until we say something like, yeah, I graduated high school in 2013, and you're like, bro, I was 10.
Does that even go? I was 10.
Yeah, I guess my story was, my sister was getting piano lessons when she was 7. She's a couple years younger than me, and my parents found out that same teacher taught drums, and I'd always been into music because my dad just listening to stuff growing up in driving a car to sporting events or whatever, and he'd be like, hey, there's this band, this drummer, this guitar player, whatever, and they're like, hey, you want to learn drums? And I was like, absolutely, because I was one of those kids that was like, hey, new sport I can play this year, I'm going to play that too, in addition to everything else. Oh, an instrument? Awesome, let's do it. And then I just kind of haven't turned back from there.
For me, my sister was also taking piano lessons. My sister's 10 years older than me, so I was little and she was playing music all the time. We had a piano in the house. and she tried to teach me some things. So I really, my first instrument, I guess, was piano, and so I played that. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, just how to play songs, and I just really enjoyed playing songs that I loved. And then I watched Camp Rock, and I really liked like the guitar players in that movie, and I was like, it's almost kind of an embarrassing thing to admit that like Camp Rock is like what got me into playing guitar, but and then I found guitar tabs, and it was like an easy way to learn how to play music. So I was just kind of drawn to that, and I just kept learning songs that I loved, and then I took some classes in college on piano and guitar, and then I just haven't stopped since then.
Yeah, no, I also took piano lessons when I was a young kid. Never really got into it. Also took guitar lessons when I was like in 7th grade. Really couldn't get into it. I wanted to shred. I didn't want to play Ode to Joy on the guitar. That was not for me.
No classes.
My guitar teacher told me that I would never play guitar because I had really long nails. And so I swore off the guitar for a long time. And then it was my high school graduation. I wasn't able to go to my high school graduation because I didn't buy a cap and gown at the time. I wish I had a cooler story for that. But that's the truth. And so on my high school graduation, I just bought like the cheapest guitar on Amazon. Just started playing. The first song I ever learned was "Come As You Are" because Nirvana was like the first. Like I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on the radio, and I was like, "What is this? This is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life." The most stereotypical preteen thing that ever happened. But yeah, I just got I was really into like grunge and nu metal as a young kid. I was a big Korn fan. And that is honestly what got me into music. But honestly, my first music love is probably Smash Mouth All Star. That was the year. I remember where I was. I was in my mom's minivan. And Smash Mouth All Star comes on. I go, this is life changing for me.
When I was in like elementary school, my mom said that I always had like this I would always go. She would always take me to the rock hall, and I would always like sitting and like listening to all the music. So she was like, I want to get him into music somehow. And so she had me take violin lessons when I was in like 2nd grade, and I didn't like it. So then I went to keyboard, and I didn't like it. And then I went to trumpet and saxophone and drum set and guitar. And then eventually in 7th grade, I was trying to think like, what did I like from all these instruments that I wasn't able to find? And I really liked the harmonic ability of the keyboard and the rhythmic ability of the drum set. So I was like, how do I mix these two together? And I found out that that's what a bass guitar is. And so like the first time that I picked one up was, like I said, 7th grade, and it was, you ever seen like in like those movies when like the angels are like singing and like the light shines on you and like you're holding, I felt like right here, like in my stomach, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life. I am a bass player. I am nothing else. I'm a bass player.
Wow.
I am
nothing else.
And yeah, and then like freshman year of high school, I got really into psychedelic rock, like Crumb, and hearing that bass player, I was like, I have to get serious about this.
This is a good one.
I like this.
I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take
I want you to
that
take that one.
So, I personally like to be the most honest. That's what I try to go for. Like especially with my lyric writing. I think that like just being as honest as you can is the most important thing to do in music. I don't think there's anything like good or bad about songwriting. I think it's just honest and dishonest. So for me personally, just like kind of like sharing like existential crises and internal pain that we all feel. I really like to express that through music, like through like a very uplifting way, so that it's accessible and it doesn't turn people off. But it's like it's okay to not feel great all the time. That's what I like to show everybody, because like we have a song called "Crying in the Tub," and I mean that could come off as like a really sad song, but it's very dancey, and like sometimes it's okay to like be sad and also happy at the same time. I think there's a lot of good that comes out of being sad. It's hard. It would be hard for me to write like a straight like this is how I feel song, and more of like this is just what I'm experiencing right now, and then you can feel it from that. It's like I don't know if I'll ever write like a strictly happy song or a strictly sad song, because I think there's just like a lot more complexity that goes into the emotion of songwriting. So I think like I personally like to be like a lot more like very complex with my lyrics, and like I like people to think a little bit deeper about what they're thinking about or what they're going through, and hopefully like we can all share like a similar experience together. That's what I like to express with my songwriting.
Yeah, I'd say for me personally, I mean, to throw some bands out there, like I think one of the coolest bands out there doing it right now is Turnstile. I think they have a vibe, across more than just their music, their live shows, their visual media, their just how they look, how they carry themselves. I think that's cool. And then for me, something I try to capture as a drummer is just the energy and the essence of whatever the music is that we're playing. And a feeling that really inspires me is something that I feel when I drum, or when I'm riding my motorcycle, or like when I was competing in sports back in college and earlier. It's just that super freeing feeling where I'm truly present and in the moment. And basically through music I try to just chase that and get that out there, so kind of like Sean was saying, so that way everyone else can hear and feel and experience that with us together. So for me, that's a lot of what kind of gets me there.
Yeah, for me, like my top three like influences the bass player are Ray Brown, Jesse Broder of Crumb, and I'd say Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. Just like the tasteful, but not like, it's everything they do has a purpose, and it's not like noodling, but it's not like overly like just like straight root notes, and it really like inspires me to find like that perfect middle ground that I truly believe they have found. But like as a musician rather than a bass player, what inspires me is just like when I hold the instrument, I never want to put it down. I don't know, like I feel like every musician has that feeling.
He carries his bass with him everywhere. We call it his emotional support bass. It's true.
It's just like, it's an extension of myself. Like most people say, like your instrument needs to be an extension of yourself. It's true. Like it's a part of me. It's part of who I am, and it's who I am. And like if that is a feeling that you can't get any other way, and that music really is able to give to people. So yeah.
For me, I'd say like my musical inspirations it's kind of rotating, and it's like never the same, but I feel the most inspired to write like whenever I feel any strong emotion, like regardless of the emotion. Like if I'm super angry, it makes me want to write. If I'm super happy, I want to write. If I'm depressed, I want to write. And I think that's like one of the things I love about our music, and like a lot of like the lyrical ideas, a lot of them have the very strong emotions, and that's probably my favorite part, because I really think it's like a sign. I think it's really good to feel strong emotions regardless of what it is. I think like human experience is a very wide range, and I think it's important to like recognize and feel the whole range. And so like I feel very inspired whenever I'm like up and down in my life. I'm like, okay, something needs to come out of this. Some musical idea is gonna come out of this, and I get excited about music in that way. So like that's probably when I feel most inspired.
I'm a big film and reader, so I like to treat every song like it's a story, like it's its own individual story. So if I watch like a really great movie, I'll like have that in the back of my head when I'm writing, and I'll be like, the emotions that I felt watching this movie, I'm getting like a similar vibe when I'm writing this song. And like I treat every song like it's like a 3-act structure, like build, resolution, conflict, and then fade out, I don't know, I can't remember, it's been so long since I was in film school. But I really like to take like a storytelling approach to every song. I think like it really helps people connect to the song when like they can put themselves into the song themselves. And like for me personally, when I'm writing, it's like I feel like I never really have to like consciously think about the words that I'm saying. They just like come to me, and then I have to be smart enough to know that there's something there, and there's something to go off of. Can we all say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3.
Talking Heads.
We get the talking heads a lot, especially when people see us live. I think a lot of that comes from Sean's adoration for David Byrne. If you know who David Byrne is and you've seen him perform and sing and all that, you will see, feel, and hear that with Sean. But then also, who else have we gotten compared to? I mean, pretty much
Devo. I heard Devo yesterday.
Devo. I mean, we've gotten Third Eye Blind.
From the 90s, Block Party.
Yeah,
Block Party, Interpol. Yeah, basically if it's like turn of the millennia, alternative rock, you can reasonably throw us in there.
We have a lot of versatility in our comparison. Someone compared us to Hall & Oates.
Really?
Really interesting.
Yeah,
I'll
we
take
definitely
it.
don't have like one single sound alike, but the one we consistently get when anyone new sees us that knows stuff is Talking
It's
Heads.
the Talking Heads is the biggest
Yeah.
one, If you're referring to the last one we did, Opposite Eternities, that was a very specific idea I had in mind of like two mirrors looking at each other and just kind of like internally, like or eternally reflecting off into each other. I thought that portrayed the song really well, because the song is about not being able to reach someone. It's not like that they're dead, but like you aren't like.
It's like running parallel. You'll never run.
Yeah, you'll never run into this person again. Okay, my main inspiration for that song was you dream about a person that you've never met before, and like you can never see them again but you always remember them. I mean, like, I feel like that's just like a thing that like everyone's experienced is like you have an idea of someone in your head, but you can never meet that person. So for me personally, I like the idea of just like looking into like a mirror looking into another mirror.
Yeah, and my friend Lonnie Bier did the art for that, and she was very patient with Sean in creating that vision.
I was like, I need.
this and this and this.
I literally was like, the hands were like this. I was like, I need them more like this.
Yeah.
I'm very specific when it comes to when I have a really like
Clear vision.
I'm like, I have to get it as close as possible. I can't compromise on my vision. I'm a very uncompromising person.
Well, I mean, art's art, and it needs to reflect the song, it needs to reflect the whole idea and everything, and I think that's important. So, like, with us, we write these songs, and they have this certain feel and focus and vision and all that, and so that we want the artwork to kind of portray that. That feels really cool. So that one's a funny story. So we filmed that at a place down on Madison called Play It Again Sam's on a Sunday. I think, did we have a show the day before?
Did we?
I think we might have, but either way.
We had a show next week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a show at the Rosies the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. But either way, and we just uploaded it. Didn't even choose a thumbnail. Didn't even use any tags. And it chose that video still of Sean like right in the camera, which is perfect. Like that is you can't think of a better thumbnail.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, it'd be really cool to get like 1,000 views, in like the first weekend. And then it hit like 2K in a day, and then it was at like over 5,000 before the weekend was over. So like I think it caught the algorithm, started hitting people's recommendeds, and it was really cool because it was like all the feedback on it was great.
Yeah.
And it really showed us like, hey, if you spend a solid $1 on a good music video, it can go really far. Because I think adding that visual element, to the music helps
That's
a
how
lot.
we got Ken.
Yeah, I mean, that's
that's
the
how we
video that
got
got
him.
me into the band.
And then, funny enough, the guy that filmed it, Nate, that's actually Sean's roommate who lives here. Shout out Nate. But yeah, that was really cool. It felt good to know that what we did was getting some traction.
Yeah. Felt really good. It was very validating. I was like, maybe we should keep doing stuff like this.
Doing video content.
Yeah, because like as an artist, you kind of level things up one by one after another, and you just hope it keeps working out.
Can we?
Soon,
Can we
music
expect
videos?
these?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have plans. We just finished tracking and producing our debut album. Was that a week ago, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
With a guy named James Harker in Columbus. Really awesome process. We've been working on it for like 6 months plus. And so we will be dropping one more single for that once it's all mixed and ready to go. And then our plan, I think, at this current moment is like 3 music videos. One will drop when the album drops, and then probably a couple more, as time goes to kind of space our content out. Okay. But yeah, we have full plans and intentions to make this as big and grand of a rollout as possible because we spent a lot of time and money on it. We really take pride in having top-notch quality production and all of that with our songs and the video quality. So, you know, we're gonna make it as big and awesome as we can and really try to bring it to the people.
So the album title is called Sharing the Daytime Moon.
Okay.
It's gonna come out sometime in the spring.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Spring 2020.
Yeah, we went through a few potential album names.
But either way, we eventually settled on that, which funny enough was Sean's original idea. We had gone with a couple other things just because it was kind of working, and then once we realized like what we had put together, that name suited it much better, which is good because I think, you know, like we were saying earlier with the artwork, write the songs, the artwork will come. Write the album, the name will come. I think my personal biggest thing would be come see us live. Like everyone touts that, like, hey, you know, it's a live experience that will change your life or this or that. Like, I think we're pretty good, and I think if you come and see us live, you'll like us even more than you do when you listen to us. I think we have something special going on. We work really hard, and it's really fun to have people come and see that and experience that. Places you can see us play live next. April 5th, we're playing at the Winchester with a band they're from Texas, right?
Yeah.
They're called Glass Healer, and then this other band, Post Saga, will be on that. And then after that, our next show should be our album release show. Date and all that to be determined. That's Twitter and everything too,
That's
right?
Twitter and everything as well. You can find our website at whosaidwho.band. Correct.
Made and designed by Luke
Made and
himself.
designed by Luke.
All
then
streaming platforms.
All streaming
Spotify.
platforms.
All
Yeah.
streaming platform, wherever you listen to
Deezer.
music.
We're on
Deezer.
Deezer.
I think Deezer
We're on
has-
Tidal.
We're on
We
Tidal.
We're on
Tidal.
everything. Yeah, baby. We
We
just
just
kidding now. We have a mailing list. You can submit to be on that by going through our website, right? There's
Yeah,
a link in there. So if you want to be on that, we put out a weekly newsletter, just random updates, whether it's, hey, we got a show, hey, we got a single, this, that, or it's just like random panderings of what's going on and, you know, what we've kind of been talking about and, you know,
That's fun.
vibing
That's
on.
fun.
So it's fun, wholesome, all that kind of thing. You know, there's really no limits to the coffee newsletters, but we write them that day and then send them out. So
It really helps if you go to our website and buy some merch, or you can do a buy us a coffee thing.
Basically, there's this platform called Buy Me a Coffee, and you can basically essentially sponsor a Friday coffee meeting for us to help support the band.
Yes.
and we also go support local coffee shops around town.
Yes.
If you like what we're doing, if you like our music, and you like the video content we're pushing out, any contribution helps. So yeah, really, that's all I got.